So Mr. Waven, Uncle Greg, messaged me and said, God, you know, I found this. I'd like you to...
Found it.
I'd like to send it to you. Can I send this to the office? I said, yes, you may.
Is this filthy?
It's not filthy.
It's from Raven. It involves panties in some way.
No, but it is something that takes after my own heart.
It's a Namazu thing, isn't it?
May I present to you the Namazu and the greatest gift?
Oh wow, it's an actual picture book.
Yeah.
Is this a regulation? Is this official?
Yeah, it is. It's straight off the Square Enix store.
15 large Canadian.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
Wow. The Namazu and the greatest gift.
So I thought you could regale the chat with a nice little story.
Oh, it's cute.
It is adorable, yeah, genuinely.
Oh wow. Have you read this? Yeah.
I had a quick look. I haven't read through the whole thing.
I'll read this to my kids. Do I need to read this on stream?
I think you should.
Do we need a story?
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Oh. Give me a hell's yeah, and I'll get into this story by Banri Oda from Square Enix.
Who was the main scenario writer before Ishikawa?
Ah. Well, thank you for joining me by the fireside, because today we have something special for you. We're going to be reading the official Final Fantasy XIV picture book, The Namazu and the Greatest Gift. A story of Namazus and their happiness. As we open our tale, we are presented with a proverb. When their river starts running, the catfish-like Namazu set out on a quest to bring rain. They meet an otter who just might be able to help, but first they'll have to find something no one has ever seen. Will the Namazu be able to find this precious thing? Will they be able to make it rain? So it looks like our Namazu friends are going to be suffering and in pain and misery, but maybe we can bring some happiness to them. Our story begins now. In the far, far east was a great grassy steppe where Namazu gathered to frolic and feast and do other things that Namazu do. The Namazu enjoyed many sunny days on the steppe, so sunny in fact, that they soon found themselves with a big, big problem. The sun had dried the river right up and stolen the fun of fishing. Smelling a chance to seem important, Saigetsu, who thought of many, many things, gathered his friends Gyoshin, who built many, many things, and Gyorai, who was the only one who ever stopped to wonder if these things were a good idea. I know a sage who can change the weather, Saigetsu said. He lives in the mountain beyond the river. Saigetsu was sure that the sage would solve their problem, as the three Namazu set off to search for him. After a long, long climb, they found the sage at the top of the mountain. You can make it rain, yes, yes, they asked. The sage was odd, and his answer was odder. I can, he said. Enough to fill your river and more, but I won't. Not unless you find me something new, something no one has ever seen before. Something new? What gift will do? The three Namazu wondered. They searched through their treasures until each found a present for the sage. Gyoshin chose a colourful fan from the Namazu festival. Saigetsu chose his favourite book, filled with big words. Gyorai chose a fancy outfit. She'd made it with her own 2 fins. These were all very good gifts, but the sage would not accept them. You've seen these before. They are not new, he said, and the sage turned them away. Discouraged, Saigetsu and Gyorai returned to the steppe. If the sage did not want their most treasured treasures, then it was clear that nothing would make them happy. Gyoshin was not so sure. He stayed behind on the mountain, watching the sage from the shadows. Gyoshin could find something suitable, a gift to make the sage smile. If only he understood the odd otter a little bit better. Even though the sage lived all alone at the top of the mountain, he had everything he needed to survive. When he was hungry, he called the wind to pluck fish from the streams and bring them to his table. When he was hot, he called the clouds to cover the sun so he could relax in the shade. Gayoshin was a little bit jealous. Yes. Gayoshin watched for 7 days and 7 nights. He was starting to think the sage had no problems of any kind. I'm so bored, the sage said, for the 7th time that day. What a surprise! How strange! Even with his amazing powers, the sage wasn't having any fun at all. No. It was enough to make a Namazu think. The next day, Gayoshin spoke to the sage again. Have you given up? The sage said, seeing no gifts in Gayoshin's fins. No, said Gayoshin. I have a gift for you. Something so new that no one has ever seen it before. But you must accept it for it to work, because you see, it's friendship between me and you. You will accept it, yes. The sage laughed. Yes, I suppose I will. No one has ever given me their friendship before. Saying it out loud made the sage realize how lonely he had been and how much he had wanted a friend. Now that he had one, he was so happy that he cried tears of joy. The sage and the Namazu held a ceremony together to call the rains. Soft clouds swept over the steppe as they celebrated together. The raindrops that fell upon them were warm and gentle, and the sage knew he would never feel alone again. It is very rainy, most moist indeed, cried Gayoshin joyfully. The sky must be happy for us too, yes. From that day forward, there was always rain on the steppe, and friendship for anyone who needed it. What did we learn? What did we learn from this tale? Sages are selfish, ignorant little pricks. They would watch the Namazu run out of fish and die in desolation and squalor, all because he wanted free prizes. This is what brings the end to society. Remember, everybody, sharing is caring. Thank you so much for listening, and thank you, Raven, for the Namazu and the greatest gift. Let's get back to crying in Shadowbringers.
I'm all Greg. Pleased to meet you.